River danger. Thousands will hit the water this holiday weekend, from boaters to swimmers, while you'll have to be extra careful. Missing brook.
And even though, yes, the leads are starting to dwindle, we're not done yet.
It's now been a year since Brooke Wilberger vanished.
I think it really haunts us all because I think we still feel this presence.
How her disappearance has forever shaken the OSU campus. And a personal crusade.
And what happened then, I would have never imagined.
Ever since witnessing a deadly accident, one woman's campaign to upgrade the Morrison Bridge. The News at 6 starts right now.
From KGW, where the news comes first. This is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
Hello, I'm Tracy Berry.
And I'm Joe Donlin. First at 6, sunny weather lures boaters back to the river, but relentless days of rain have washed floating hazards into the water, and at popular swimming sites, rapid currents make even wading dangerous. Tonight we have News Channel 8 team coverage on the river dangers, beginning with Bruce Sussman live in Sky 8. Bruce?
Well, thanks a lot, Joe. You know, it always sounds simple, doesn't it? You're cruising your boat down the river, you see a log, and you steer around it. But below Sky 8 right now, imagine if you were a boat cruising on the water. You're going fast, and you could easily ram an obstacle that suddenly comes into view. Before you know it, you're in cold water, and your boat is sinking. Deputy Scott McDowell is always on the lookout for dangers as he races down the Columbia River. Dangers like this root fall that likely hides a floating tree underneath.
People don't realize that there are these hazards out here. They just think, oh, okay, it's a big open area. I can just go wherever I want. But they can't.
From Sky 8, we watched this boat zip across the Willamette. It's possible the captain never even saw the big tree trunk so close by. River levels came up suddenly over the last week, floating dead trees from the shore into the river. Some slice out of the water, others are hidden by sun glare, and a few will be missed because no one's watching.
They grab the 6-pack of beer or the half-rack of beer, whatever they've got, throw it in the boat, and away they go because it's a nice weekend and they just want to get out and have fun. And they don't stop and think, okay, what do we have to do to make this fun and safe out here?
Deputy McDowell's office is lined with pictures of boats on fire, runaway boats, and badly damaged boats. And since 2000, Oregon boaters got into 324 serious accidents, killing 70 people, and most were not wearing a life jacket.
All of them that we have that drowned out here, they don't have their life jackets on.
But they do get hypothermia as they fight strong current with river temperatures near 50 degrees. Now that the sun's out, you'll see speedboats, sailboats, even yachts. But you'll also see sheriff's boats watching for those who've run into problems they never saw coming. But to get the latest on river levels, go to our website, kgw.com. Look for information on the weather page. Tracy?
Thanks, Bruce. Rivers are certainly a tempting place for swimmers to beat the heat, but experts say be careful. News Channel 8's Dave Northfield joins us live from the Sandy River near Troutdale, where a successful safety program is about to start up again. Dave?
That's right, Tracy. Glen Auto Park, which is right around the corner from where we are right now, has been the scene of many drownings over the years. But that's why one of the river rescue programs that is being kicked into place in just a couple of days is so important. And, you know, we found out firsthand just how dangerous this river can be. On a sun-kissed day in May, the Sandy River near Troutdale conveys a message of serenity. Some soak up rays on the rocks, others play on the banks. But don't be fooled. This is a powerful and potentially deadly river with frigid water.
Right now we're running probably about 50 degrees, so it's very cold. And it really drains people's energy. They don't realize how quickly they get very cold in here and are unable to function very well.
That's why the lifeguards from AMR's River Rescue are back for their 7th year at Glen Auto Park. They've been in training for weeks, working on rescue drills with their colleagues.
This is a pretty good current.
We found out firsthand how easy it is to get into trouble here.
Even just a few feet from the bank, this current is running at 6 to 7 miles an hour. That puts 160 pounds of pressure on your legs. And if you do lose your footing, you're gone.
just downstream, I drifted toward these rocks, a place where lots of swimmers need a rescue. I had trouble keeping my grip on the rock, and I was glad to see lifeguard Laura Grissom, who came to pull me to safety.
People will walk out here because in the summer this gets very shallow.
High Rocks Park near Gladstone averaged 2 to 3 drownings per year. Since the AMR program began 4 years ago, there have been 0. Same story at Glen Otto. Back at the Sandy, we were back in the water, floating quickly downriver. Grateful for the AMR lifeguards who grabbed me, handed me a flotation device, and helped me kick back to shore and to safety. Back live, you can see those people in the Sandy River near Troutdale, and you see just how tempting this is. This program, though, the AMR program, has been so successful, it gets underway this weekend, Memorial Day, and runs through Labor Day. Back to you guys.
Glad to see you safe on shore, Dave.
Yeah, so he went swimming today at work.
Yeah.
How nice, huh? Maybe a little cold right now, but wait till later in the week when the temperatures are going to rise. Matt talking about the warmest day of the year.
Now, Joe, the air, of course, will warm up a whole lot faster than the water. It takes a while, weeks, months even, for the water to really see big changes in temperatures, but not the case with the air. Let me show you what will be happening over the next few days. We've got a couple of warm ones on the way. Portland's record, we'll start with that for Thursday, and that'll be the warmest day of this stretch of warm weather. Our record is 92. We're not going to make that, but it's going to be very close. Beaverton, 91. Astoria actually has the best chance of bagging a record. Salem also a good chance. Hillsboro's record probably a little bit out of reach. Now, as we go into the next few days, here's what I'm forecasting. Wednesday, 84. Thursday, 89, so 3 degrees shy of the record. And Friday, 78. And after that, well, it is basically all downhill from there. So, Joe, I'll tell you what that means. Of course, everybody interested in the big holiday weekend forecast. Back to you.
Matt, thanks. We'll see you in a bit. Today marks 1 year since Brooke Wilberger vanished from an apartment near Oregon State University. And despite hours of searching, police are no closer to finding her. News Channel 8's Kylie Boshi is live in Corvallis, where Brooke's family talked to reporters today. Kyle?
Joe, walk around Corvallis even today, and you'll see Brooke Wilberger's photo on flyers just like this one and billboards. Many people also are wearing these pink bracelets around. They say findbrooke.com. They vowed to never forget Brooke Wilberger. 1 year ago today, Brooke Wilberger disappeared. The 19-year-old was alone cleaning lampposts at a Corvallis apartment complex. Police believe someone abducted the BYU student. Since then, investigators searched almost 4,000 acres and followed up on 5,000 tips. Police say there are currently 2 unnamed persons of interest in the case. Responding to media requests, Brooke's family held a press conference today. Her mother and father described how they rely heavily on their faith in one another to get through this difficult year of uncertainty.
If you lose someone through an accident or illness, you know what's happened. And we're still dealing with the unknown. And that's the piece that we need to resolve, so then we can, work at moving on. And I think we've tried hard to move on the pieces of our life that we could as a family. But there's still one piece that's kind of stuck.
Talking to students at Oregon State University today, many of them say this case has really affected their sense of security. Many of them make sure to walk in pairs. Some of them don't walk alone, especially at night. As far as investigators go, they say this is not a cold case just yet. They're continuing to follow up leads each and every day. Tracy?
Certainly a remarkable family. Thank you, Kyle. Crime scene investigators in Benton County have found a body at a remote cabin near Alsea. That's the same area where authorities have been looking for clues in the disappearance of 2 men that went missing over the weekend. Northwest Cable News reporter Wilson Chow is live at the scene where investigators are still working tonight. Wilson?
That's right, Tracy. Investigators tell me they will be out here for some time yet into the evening, and in these live pictures over here, you can see them still working. Authorities out here have recovered a body late this afternoon, but they're not willing to say who it is, how that person died, or even if it's one of the 2 missing men. 22-year-old Jesse Reisman and 31-year-old Shane Buckley disappeared on Friday. Both were last seen with 19-year-old Mitchell Miller, who was arrested last night, but only charged with burglarizing his grandparents' cabin. It's that cabin where investigators found the body this afternoon. Now, we want to stress Miller is only a person of interest at this time, but tonight authorities tell us the missing person's families are having a difficult time not knowing what happened.
They're having a tough time, obviously. So I think it'd be very difficult to have your child missing, so I think it's difficult.
An autopsy on the body will be performed tomorrow. We understand dental records will be used to determine the identity, and also they will determine the cause of death at that time. And once again, investigators will continue to stay out here throughout the night, securing the crime scene. Back to you.
Thank you, Wilson. We have some breaking news now. We want to go up to Sky 8 and let you know that a small plane has apparently crash landed in the Hillsborough area. If we can go ahead and show you those pictures. There is a fire crew on the scene putting out the flames at this point. We don't know exactly where it's touched down. You can see it tried to land in some sort of a field out in the Hillsborough area. The plane looks to be in pretty bad shape. We'll bring you more details as they become available.
It's been nearly a year since a car struck and killed a woman walking her dog on the Morrison Bridge. And now an eyewitness to that tragedy is on a mission to make the bridge safer. News Channel 8's Nicole Dow joins us live from the Morrison Bridge with that. Nicole?
Well, Joe, the eyewitness wants the grading on the Morrison Bridge changed. County officials admit that during inclement weather, it doesn't have the greatest traction, but they say right now they don't have the funding to change it.
I was in the right lane, and then a vehicle passed me, and I lost control on the steel grid.
May 27th, 2004, a day Suzanne Foster will never forget. She was driving next to this SUV on the Morrison Bridge. As the SUV careened out of control, Suzanne braced for impact.
What happened then, I would have never imagined.
The SUV hit the sidewalk where Linda Pilger was walking her dog. Linda died instantly, and Suzanne was with her in those final moments. Now Suzanne is crusading for a safer Morrison Bridge.
You sort of go, what can I do? And I would hate to have anyone else have this happen to on the Morrison Bridge.
The issue on the Morrison Bridge is the steel grating. In the crash that killed Linda, the driver was changing lanes in wet weather. And this past March, this SUV went off the bridge and into the Willamette when the driver says she lost control on the wet grating.
We know that the grating is, possibly doesn't give you the same traction that...
The county has replaced the steel grating on the Broadway Bridge with a new plastic material that provides better traction in wet weather. Officials say they'd like to install a new surface on the Morrison Bridge as well, but it's just too expensive.
And we have some even more urgent bridge projects at the county now with the Selwood Bridge and also replacing the Sauvie Island Bridge.
The county also plans to install a steel barrier between traffic and pedestrian lanes on the bridge, but Suzanne insists new grading could prevent another tragedy.
There will be more. I mean, unfortunately there will, and hopefully we can stop it before it gets worse.
And back here live, you can see the speed limit on the bridge is 35 miles an hour. County officials remind drivers that part of this is their responsibility. They don't speed while they're traveling over the grading. As for that barrier, they plan to start construction in August, and it should be completed by February of next year. Joe, Tracy, back to you.
Nicole, thank you. Live for us downtown. Sunday's avalanche on North Sister brings back powerful memories for a Eugene man.
He, too, was caught in a massive snowslide.
And at first it was exhilarating. I thought, oh, wow, I'm, trying to outdistance this avalanche. Just
how he managed to survive on Alaska's second tallest peak. Next.
Also, what would you be willing to pay to cure the family dog's cancer? Coming up, the treatment and the very steep price tag.
And we're gathering more information on the small plane that crashed just north of the Hillsborough Airport. We'll bring you up to date right after this.
Tonight at 6:30, Jay Leno takes the stand in the Michael Jackson trial. Why putting the comedian on the stand may have backfired on the defense. Plus, he's eluded capture for months, but perhaps not enemy fire. Why the top terrorist in Iraq could be in trouble. Tonight at 6:30 on News Channel 8.
Little boys in beauty pageants.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Backstage at beauty pageants with boys. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7 on News Channel 8. News Channel 8 at sunrise. Now with weather and traffic on the 8s. Every morning from 5 to 7 a.m. News Channel 8 at sunrise, where the news comes first.
Looking for adventure? It's Adventure Days at Les Schwab. Play Scratch and win. Over 250,000 instant prizes given away. Enter the drawing to win one of 38 Polaris ATVs. Plus the West's largest selection of tires for your adventure. Adventure Days, now at the Les Schwab sign.
Two Portlanders caught in an avalanche on North Sister will spend another night in a Bend hospital. The two summited the mountain on Sunday and were on their way down when the snow gave way above them. One of the climbers has been upgraded to fair condition. The other remains in serious. Two climbers with them used their cell phones to call 911. The Army National Guard then lifted them off the mountain.
Another Oregonian vividly remembers his death-defying escape from an avalanche. He was buried, then stopped breathing for nearly 20 minutes. Yet he lived, and today he told his story to News Channel 8's Vince Patton. Vince?
Joe Charles Campbell set off to climb one of Alaska's highest peaks with 3 friends. He says an avalanche overtook him at the 14,000-foot level. Everything went black. Once buried, he glimpsed blue through the ice, and then he stopped breathing. Tucked in a corner of his Eugene studio,
there it is.
Noted nature photographer Charles Campbell finds his past.
23 years ago, huh?
Preserved in slides.
Wonder I look younger. That's kind of a good one, isn't it?
Shot in 1982.
There's a distant view of the mountain.
A mountain, avalanches, and a bruised face that defines the cliche, lucky to be alive.
It's like being in a washing machine, but you just can't fight it. There's just too much force behind it.
One friend was buried up to his neck in snow. Campbell was 3 feet under. 2 friends tracked his emergency beacon and dug him out with ice picks.
The hypothermia nearly killed me, to tell you the truth. By the time they dug me out, about 20 minutes without oxygen, I was blue, lifeless. I wasn't breathing at all.
His friends thought he was dead.
While they were pulling me out, I started breathing on my own. It was pretty remarkable. So they're just about to do CPR on me when I started coughing out snow. And
the avalanche plummeted 4,000 feet, then zoomed across 3 miles of glacier to reach him.
It fell further than the Grand Canyon is deep. Campbell
believes hypothermia actually saved him, freezing his system as he lost oxygen.
But when you realize it may be your final day, it's really, when it finally happens, it's pretty serious.
He never figured out why he survived and literally came back to life. He just knows he sees good fortune in that battered face from so many years ago.
It just wasn't my day. I was meant to live. I was meant to survive that one.
So you'd think doctors then rushed to save his life, right? Well, believe it or no, not at all. All 4 of the men were then stranded for 10 more days at their base camp. By the time help arrived, Campbell had fully recovered from his hypothermia on his own. Joe and Tracy?
That is amazing. I mean, you hear about these amazing stories of survival.
That one really is.
That one is.
Well, it's different. If you're on Mount Hood, you can get help pretty quickly when you're in the Fairweather range like that. I mean, a lot of times what the climbers will do is they've actually got radios and they hit a ship out at sea, and then the ship at sea radios back into land, says, go get them, they're ready, because they can't get down into town because the terrain is so steep. So it's pretty wild. Great story there. We've got some great weather on the way. If you are going to the mountains, look out for the avalanche conditions in the Cascades, because it will be high with the warm weather. It's going to cook that new snow. We had as much as 4 feet of new snow last week. Let's check out the sky show from today. Great view of Mount St. Helens. And yes, what you are looking at are the clouds clearing, but you're also looking at a little steam plume right here. You can see it's really not gaining too much elevation, but with the clear sky, no surprise, see a little bit of steam coming out of St. Helens this afternoon. Our high was 72 in Portland, 70 at Pendleton, 64 in Baker City and in LeGrand. And in the metro area, low 70s throughout. Sure felt good, didn't it? Here's another live view of Mount St. Helens. You can see the wind blowing around a bit. 70 degrees right now, northwest winds at 17. This is from our Wells Fargo sky cam, and the freezing level on the way up. So about the only place in the state that had cloud cover this morning was right here in Multnomah County. You can see this one little patch of low cloud burned off quickly. You can actually see it get blown from the north-northeast to the south-southwest as we clear off. And then you can see Mount Hood right there. There's Mount Adams. There's Mount St. Helens from space. And right up in there is Mount Rainier. So the Cascades showing up nicely with the snow cover on the satellite imagery today. Rest of the country, it's cooling off in Phoenix. They only got up to 102. It's been really hot there. Here's Futurecast. You can see the east winds tomorrow. East winds continue tomorrow night. East winds continue on Thursday. And on Thursday afternoon, and that'll be our warmest day. So sunny and windy on the coast. Small craft advisories flying because the seas, just the local chop from that strong north wind is going to push up about an 8-foot kick. So it's going to be pretty rough out there. But you get up to 80 in Tillamook, so why go out in a boat? It's going to be great. Sunny in the valleys, too. Low to mid-80s throughout. Up in the Cascades, look at our freezing level climbing to 12,000 feet. 62 at Timberline, 70 at Government Camp. In the Gorge, east winds, 5 to 20 miles an hour with sunshine, 84 in Hood River, 85 in the Dalles. Central and eastern Oregon, you'll see a clear sky all day long. A little bit chilly in the morning areas. That's Smith Rocks, where it'll be sunny, as will the rest of the area. 80 in Madras, about 75 in LeGrand, and lows down in the 30s. So great sleeping weather, as we like to say. 49 in Portland, clear and cool tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, warmest day of the year so far. We'll make it up to 84 here, 84 Camas, 85 Newburgh, and our 7-day forecast. Thursday will be the new warmest day of the year, and then it gets a little bit cooler and a little bit of rain coming in Saturday right in the middle of the holiday weekend. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Matt. So who wouldn't want to cure their sick pet?
She's like my baby. She's like one of my favorite things in the whole world.
But what if it's cancer and that treatment costs tens of thousands of dollars? Next, the cure vets are now using.
Plus, comedian Jay Leno takes the witness stand in the Michael Jackson trial. What one court observer said about his testimony.
This News Channel 8 segment is brought to you by your Northwest Dodge dealers. Grab life by the horns.
The limited edition 2005 Dodge Ram Daytona. It's got a Hemi V8 engine, like the 69 Daytona. A real hood scoop, like the 69. And the legendary rear spoiler, just like the 69 Daytona. It doesn't know it's a truck. The Dodge Ram Daytona. Grab life by the horns at your local Dodge dealer.
The Mervyn's Max sale is this Wednesday. You know what that means, right? Maximum savings of 50% off all over the store. Here comes the sun and the savings. Just what I need right now for the whole family is half off. Like half off swimwear and shorts, crops and skirts, flip-flops and sandals, tees and tank tops, sunglasses and summer handbags. Plus 50% off summer beach towels, dinnerware, and drinkware. Those will be great for the pool party. It's the most, the greatest, the best. It's the Max. And they open early at 8 a.m. See you this Wednesday at Mervyn's.
Welcome to Tire Factory.
Where's the molding operation?
That's Nikki. She's smart. Well, at Tire Factory, we don't make tires. We just sell the best national brands.
There goes my show and tell. Don't you make anything?
Well, we make customers happy. That's important to us.
So nothing goes kaboom ka-chunk?
Tire Factory. No kaboom ka-chunk. Just the right tires for the way you drive, the best warranty, and expert service. Trust what you love to Tire Factory.
Sometimes it's easy to see when you need to protect yourself. Though if you've had a heart attack or have heart disease, it's important to talk to your doctor. Because you may not be doing enough to help protect your heart. The Heart Protection Study proved that Zocor, along with diet, significantly reduced the risk of both heart attack and stroke in people with heart disease, with high or even normal cholesterol. Zocor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Zocor may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Ask your doctor today how Zocor can help protect you, and get your free book at Zocor.com. It's your future. Be there.
This News Channel 8 segment is brought to you by your local Honda dealers.
With its powerful performance, nimble handling, plush interior, and the distinction of being named one of Car and Driver's 10 best, as well as an excellent value by IntelliChoice, the Accord is an attraction in itself. The Accord from Honda. Now you can lease an Accord LX sedan for $199 a month for well-qualified buyers.
A new treatment could cure the most common form of cancer in dogs, and the man pioneering it is right here in the Northwest. News Channel 8's health reporter Stephanie Strickland is here to explain how this groundbreaking treatment works.
The method is simple. It takes a treatment already used to treat cancer in people and applies it to dogs. But it's expensive. Very expensive. And since few dogs have had it, we don't know its success rate. That said, at least 2 pet owners say it's nothing short of amazing.
Come on, Bailey.
Maggie Von Hartman would do anything for her 5-year-old beagle named Bailey.
She's like my baby. She's like one of my favorite things in the whole world.
So when a vet diagnosed Bailey with the most common canine cancer, lymphoma, the family decided not to give up.
She's part of the family, like a family member, so we'd try every avenue that we could to save her.
Oh, Bailey, that's a good dog.
Dr. Edmund Sullivan from Bellingham, Washington, is pioneering stem cell transplants for dogs.
It's not even really experimental. It's just applying current knowledge to dogs.
It's the same treatment used on humans. The most difficult part, finding a stem cell match from a direct relative of the dog. Vets use the stem cell transplant in tandem with targeted radiation therapy. It's intense and expensive. Very expensive, costing anywhere from $20,000 to $45,000. And it's still new.
This is his first treatment, so we need to define the tumor extent.
At the Portland Veterinary Oncology Center, Dr. Juliana Simon treats SPAS with targeted radiation therapy. She's aware of Dr. Sullivan's work in Bellingham and says it's certainly interesting but preliminary.
But oftentimes you can get a few cases that do very well and then the next ones don't. And so you always want to be very cautious with results.
Also, Dr. Simon says with any treatment, experimental or not, consider your pet's age, consider the quality of life, and then make a decision that's right for you.
Cancer therapy and veterinary medicine is not a one-size-fits-all. It's trying to do best by each patient and their family to see what fits that situation best.
As soon as we get the CBC done, we'll know.
Maggie and her family took their chances and used money Maggie had saved to buy a house to start treatment.
Some people that don't have pets would probably not just think, oh, you know, what an idiot. I think it's just a value call, what's important to you. When I look at these little brown eyes and, you know, I'm just telling her that we're doing everything we can for her.
Oh, that's a good dog.
Nina Hallett's dog Comet had the treatment for lymphoma and spent about the past year cancer-free. But the procedure came with a cost Comet's family never fathomed. As news spread, irate letters poured in from people angry that Nina paid $45,000 to save her then 7-year-old pet.
It's our money. We had it. We worked for it. And we believe that we've done a good thing.
Yeah.
Maggie believes that as well and hopes Bailey's outcome, whatever it may be, will help others.
Maybe if I do nothing else, by doing this for Bailey and, you know, in turn it will help other dogs, that I'm doing something positive.
Some vets do stem cell research on dogs, but near as we can tell, Dr. Sullivan is the only one in America performing actual transplants.
Breaking news, Sky 8 is live over a small plane crash right near the Hillsborough Airport runway. We'll bring you the latest in a live report. Plus, Michael Jackson's lawyers have called their last witness, but it's not the King of Pop.
Not calling Michael Jackson as a witness is the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind.
No Jackson, but plenty of other stars. What Jay Leno said for laughs, and why he may have backfired as a witness for the defense. He already has thousands of American and Iraqi troops looking for him.
This is a serious blow.
Now the most wanted man in Iraq looks like he's in even more trouble. Information from hundreds of thousands of bank accounts gets swiped.
Certainly identity theft is a great concern as it relates to this case.
But wait till you hear who's getting the blame.
Meet the voice that gives your life direction.
Turn left. No, your other left.
The voice of OnStar rests her vocal cords here in Portland.
Have a great day.
A dream comes true for the last coach of the Blazers.
You know, it's just almost something I can't believe.
Hear from Maurice Cheeks and find out just how good the Blazers' first-round pick will be.
Little boys in beauty pageants. It's not just for girls anymore.
Does anybody give you a hard time saying, why are you putting your little boy in a beauty pageant?
Backstage at beauty pageants with boys. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7 on News Channel 8.
I'm 18.
In their own words.
I don't remember a lot from the last 2 years of my life.
Trading sex for meth.
Eventually, you're going to look back on it and regret every moment.
Unit 8's unprecedented look at teens and meth. Tonight at 11 on News Channel 8.
Days are running out for Hyundai's Memorial Day sales event. Get up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR in select models, including the Hyundai Santa Fe, winner of Strategic Vision's 2004 Total Value Award. Day after day, Hyundai's award-winning quality lets us offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. And get up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR now through Memorial Day weekend at Hyundai. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer now for Memorial Day weekend for up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
Hey, what kind of burrito are you?
Spinach, tortilla, chicken, whole beans, cheese, mild salsa, and no jalapenos.
Jumbo fish, to go.
I like...
Mondo beef. I take 2.
Super pork, sun-dried tomato.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Toriku.
Chicken, 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 chicken.
Baja go. Get your Mondo made-to-order burrito at Taco Del Mar today.
My burrito, my way at Taco Del Mar.
It's happening now, the Chrysler Memorial Day sales event, where we'll give you up to $3,500 in combined cash allowances, or get 0% financing when you buy select Chrysler vehicles. Plus, make no monthly payments until November. Check out Town & Country with Stow & Go, the safety utility vehicle Pacifica, the Chrysler 300, 2005 Motor Trend Car of the Year, and our versatile PT Cruiser. Hurry in, because these great Memorial Day sales event deals end May 31st.
From KGW, where the news comes first. This is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6:30.
Breaking news from Sky 8, a small plane has crashed in Hillsborough. Hello, I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm Tracy Berry. That plane crashed near the Hillsborough Airport just about a half an hour ago. News Channel 8's Bruce Sussman is live up in Sky 8.
Bruce, tell us what you can see there.
Well, Tracy and Laurel, we know that this plane crashed and broke into too many pieces to count right around 6 o'clock tonight. The white that you see around the edges of this plane, that's foam that fire crews sprayed just after the crash to either put out flames or keep the plane from burning, since the fuel tanks in the wings most likely broke open during the crash. Now, let's show you where this is. We'll zoom out just a bit. This is just the northwest corner of one of the main runways of the Hillsborough Airport. It's close to Evergreen Road, so that gives you an idea if you're familiar at all. The plane is a twin engine. We already traced the tail number on the plane. It is registered here in Hillsborough, so it was most likely a local pilot, definitely a local plane. We do not know if the pilot survived or what his condition might be. We also did not know if there were passengers on board. But one thing that Sky 8 pilot Brian Saunier noticed, there are no skid marks anywhere around this. It's not like this plane bounced and then rolled into this position. It appears, you know, from a pilot's perspective, that this plane likely came in fast, or at least at a steep angle as it slammed into the ground. And, you know, just on a personal note, it's amazing to see this, because we were here at 6 o'clock tonight getting fuel, and as we were waiting to take off and go to our 6 o'clock live shot, we heard this pilot radio in for clearance. Now, we can't remember if he was asking for clearance to take off or land, because there's a lot of traffic, but it is just strange to know that we heard this person's voice, you know, half an hour ago, and now this plane that he was flying is broken up into pieces. Again, we're still waiting for any word on the conditions or how many people might be on board, but as you can tell, this is a pretty serious crash.
It doesn't look good, Bruce. Thank you. Bruce Sussman up in Sky 8 tonight. Now to our other top story, the Michael Jackson sex abuse trial. News Channel 8's Karen Brown is live outside the courthouse in Santa Maria, California, where the defense will finish calling their final witness when court resumes tomorrow. Karen.
Yeah, Tracy, the big news here is that the end is near at the Michael Jackson trial. Thomas Mesereau making that surprise announcement today that indeed actor Chris Tucker will be their final witness, not Michael Jackson. Now, earlier in the day, it was Jay Leno who took center stage.
No comments.
Michael Jackson did not answer questions outside the courthouse, and now it looks like the singer will not be speaking from the witness stand either. Jackson's attorney said that actor Chris Tucker will be the final defense witness, not Michael Jackson.
Not calling Michael Jackson as a witness is the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind.
Tucker, probably best known for his roles in the Rush Hour movies, had just begun testifying about his experiences with the accuser and his family when court ended for the day. Earlier, it was comedian Jay Leno who was in the spotlight, but the defense may not have been amused by his testimony.
Jay Leno seemed to be all show and no business.
The defense had claimed that Leno received an effusive phone call from the accuser that led him to believe the family was just out for money. But the late-night star testified that the family never asked him for anything.
He didn't feel that he was being set up for a shakedown. This seems to directly contradict what we were promised by the defense.
Legal analysts said having Leno play a part in the defense's case may have backfired.
The expectation is huge when somebody like Jay Leno takes the witness stand, and when he doesn't deliver, boy, does that bell ring loud in the jurors' ears.
But Leno did manage to get the last laugh, literally, when he left the stand and turned to the jurors and told them actress Renee Zellweger was going to be his guest on The Tonight Show. In fact, everybody in the courtroom laughed at that except the judge. Now, it is likely that Chris Tucker will wrap up his testimony tomorrow, and then the defense is expected to rest. Reporting live in Santa Maria, I'm Karen Brown. Now, Tracy, back to you.
Thank you, Karen. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
An Islamic website is reporting the most wanted man in Iraq is seriously injured. The report about Abu Musab al-Zarqawi is on this website. It normally carries propaganda from al-Qaeda in Iraq, but now it asks followers to pray for Zarqawi. The U.S. government can't confirm it, but analysts say there must be some truth to it.
This is a serious blow. I think that it may be an effort to cushion an even more serious blow, such as his death.
One of Zarqawi's lieutenants told the Washington Post he'd heard Zarqawi had been shot in the upper body during an ambush by U.S. and Iraqi forces last weekend. 3 U.S. soldiers died in a car bomb attack in central Baghdad. The bomb exploded right next to their convoy. Another American was shot to death in a drive-by shooting half an hour later. That was also in Baghdad. Those deaths raised the number of Americans killed to 14 in the past 3 days. This is the scene of another car bomb attack in Baghdad. This one exploded near a junior high school for girls in a Christian neighborhood of the city. 6 people died, none of them students. The scene could have been far worse. Neighbors thought the car looked suspicious and called police. It exploded as the bomb squad walked up to the vehicle.
One of President Bush's controversial nominees to become a federal judge is on her way to a vote. Texas Justice Priscilla Owen appeared with the president today at the White House. She was one of several nominees Democrats had blocked. They consider her too extreme. But under a plan agreed to last night, Democrats agreed to drop their objections. In return, Republicans vowed not to change filibuster rules.
Just because you have 51% of the vote doesn't mean you get your way 100% of the time.
We've all suffered in the eyes of the public, so it's a chance to start over.
But Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist said he's still not ruling out trying to change Senate rules.
Congress wants to loosen restrictions on funding stem cell research. It voted today to lift President Bush's regulations on funding the research. The president banned federal funding for scientists who use stem cells from embryos created after August 2001. This bill split pro-life members of Congress. One who voted for it says she did so because of the 110 million Americans who could benefit from it.
Don't they have as much of a right to life as that embryo that's going to be tossed away?
This bill would take us across a critical ethical line by creating new incentives for the ongoing destruction of emerging human life. Crossing this line would be a great mistake.
President Bush says he'll veto the bill even if it passes the Senate.
An Indiana death row inmate who wants to delay his execution so that he can donate part of his liver to his sister will die early tomorrow as scheduled. Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels rejected Gregory Scott Johnson's request for the delay. The governor says medical experts advised against Johnson being a donor, and the parole board recommended that the execution go forward.
I've done so much harm out there. My life is all that I have to pay them.
In 1985, Johnson was convicted of beating an 82-year-old woman to death in her home.
The U.S. Treasury Department calls it the biggest breach of bank security in U.S. history. Police say insiders at 4 banks provided financial records to a New Jersey man who turned around and resold that information for millions of dollars. News Channel 8's Jane Smith joins us now with how you can protect yourself. Jane?
Well, 2 of the nation's largest banks have alerted 100,000 customers about the heist. It's called occupational identity theft, where insiders steal customers' personal information, and it's increasing. New Jersey police say this man, Orazio Lembo, masterminded the scheme to illegally sell personal information and bank account numbers of nearly 700,000 people to collection agencies. Police say Lembo had help from highly placed insiders at 4 U.S. banks, 2 of them the largest in the country, Wachovia and Bank of America. Bank of America says 60,000 customers may be affected. Bank of America says 85% of those customers are in the Northeast, and it says there is no information to suggest that customer information is being used for account fraud or identity theft. But police involved in the case say there is a very real threat.
Accounts were being looked at, and certainly that is a great cause for concern as well as being unlawful. But we also have a concern as to how that information will ultimately be used.
Occupational identity theft is on the rise.
Tremendously.
According to Paul Solomon with Fraudlines, a consulting group that helps financial institutions protect against identity theft.
Now, many of the people who actually acquire this information don't use it. They resell it to others.
Solomon says methamphetamine is usually involved in this crime of opportunity.
The fact is, it's not difficult.
While there is little you can do to protect yourself from an insider stealing your information, Solomon says it's important to check your credit report regularly, notify creditors if your identity is stolen, and contact police. Bank of America sent letters to its customers affected, and the bank is providing free credit monitoring to those customers. None of them are in Oregon. Back to you.
Thank you, Jane. The Corvallis community is marking the 1-year anniversary since Brooke Wilberger disappeared. It's our top local story tonight. Although Brooke is gone, her parents said today they're certainly not giving up hope. And police said they are not giving up their search until they have gone through every piece of evidence. Police say they have 2 persons of interest, but would not elaborate. Police are investigating a deadly 2-car crash on 99E near South End Road in Oregon City. Sky 8 flew over that scene. The driver of the white Acura died in the crash. A Ford Focus was also damaged, but its driver walked away. Witnesses say both cars were speeding. Now that the sun has returned and the holiday weekend is ahead, boaters can't wait to get back on the rivers, but be careful. The rain has dramatically increased the water levels, and there are lots of logs and debris in the water.
I'm Matt Sofino in the First Alert Storm Center. There's hardly any cloud in the sky. Look at that shot of the Sisters in Mount Jefferson over my shoulder. This is another look to the north. You can see Mount St. Helens blowing off a little bit of steam. This is live right now. It is 68 degrees in Portland. Be able to add 20 to that by Thursday. We'll talk about the big holiday weekend forecast.
Where would you like to go?
That voice. She's mapped out a career that keeps you headed in the right direction with OnStar. And she parks her car right here in Portland.
I can't tell the difference to save my life.
Well, that's one concern most parents don't have, but then most don't have identical quadruplets. How they plan to tell their new babies apart. And order up. Less than an hour ago, the Blazers found out where they'll pick in next month's draft, and it's their best spot in 21 years.
Draft lottery has the #1 answer.
Tonight, live from Vegas, the Contenders season finale.
I have a chance to win, and I'm gonna win.
This is it. Only 2 remain. The devoted father. I love you. The loving son.
I'm gonna fight my heart out.
$1 million at stake. Peter Manfredo Jr. versus Sergio Mora.
I've been waiting for this all my life.
The Contenders season finale. Live from Vegas. NBC tonight, 8/7 Central.
I know what I paid for these rugs, and I'm marking them down even more.
Only days remain before James Opie closes his huge Oriental rug warehouse forever. Save big now.
Help me retire, and I can make it worth your while.
Governor Kulongoski thinks Oregon needs another casino. So he's changing state policy to build the first Indian casino off reservation lands. A huge casino, nearly 2,000 slot machines in the Columbia River Gorge, Oregon's greatest natural treasure. It's a bad idea. It'll mean even more casinos off tribal lands, and it'll trash the gorge. Tell Governor Kulongoski no. Ask Washington, D.C. to stop the Gorge Casino. Oregon deserves better.
They're not even in high school, but they're already addicted to meth. Tonight on PAX at 10 and News Channel 8 at 11, the drug's youngest victims in their own words.
I started realizing I had a problem when I started using IV.
News Channel 8 goes in-depth at a facility where more than 3/4 of the kids are battling meth addiction. Plus, racist graffiti inside a Portland housing complex. See how residents are taking security into their own hands. Tonight at 10 and 11.
Sex for Meth. Tonight at 11 on News Channel 8.
Some like things warm. Others cool. which is why the Lexus ES is available with heated and ventilated front seats and dual-zone climate control. So at least in one place, everyone is guaranteed to feel comfortable. At Lexus of Portland.
The pitch and timbre of my voice helps people to feel as though they can trust me.
Recognize that voice? If you drive one of dozens of GM model cars, you might. She's the voice of OnStar, and she lives in Portland. That talks tonight, your money, your business.
Here's News Channel 8 and Portland Business Journal reporter Joe Smith.
Good evening, Laurel and Tracy. Airlines, banks, department stores, most any business you call today uses voice recognition to direct calls to the right party. It's that technology that's being used to help motorists in trouble or get directions, even get the weather report. And it's one voice from Portland that's keeping millions of people on track with OnStar.
Welcome to OnStar. Please tell me your 4-digit PIN.
It's the voice millions of drivers of GM vehicles hear first when they hit the OnStar button.
OnStar can pinpoint your location and contact a roadside assistance provider for you to get you back on the road.
The voice belongs to Mary McDonald Lewis.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand, and I'm certain it wasn't my fault.
I said the voice belongs to Mary McDonald Lewis, a Portland voice actress.
A voice actor is someone who simply acts with their voice as opposed to their face or their body.
As the voice of OnStar, Mary speaks volumes with a warm authority.
It's a voice that causes the listener to feel safe, to feel cared for, and to feel well informed.
About once a month, Mary records updates for OnStar from a small studio at her office on Portland's north side. She's in contact by headset with her producer in Miami.
With Virtual Advisor, you can hear traffic and weather reports for your area.
Mary worked with linguists from Stanford University some 10 years ago to develop the voice recognition technology.
1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2.
Numbers are recorded in threes, an initial, mid-range, and final tone to create a seamless flow when numbers are said together.
5124.
Despite being an actress heard but not seen, Mary has fans.
I'd probably just got in this car and listened to her voice all the time, and it was instantly kind of starstruck.
Voice recognition is a permanent business way of life, love it or hate it, but be careful how you talk back.
If you swear at the system, my voice will come back and say, Thank you. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
In addition to being the voice of OnStar, Mary has your ear probably on a daily basis. She does many national and local commercials. Mid-American Energy Company of Iowa is acquiring PacifiCorp with operations here in Oregon, a deal worth $9.4 billion. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway is funding the investment. The expanded energy holding company will serve 3 million electric and natural gas customers in 10 states and nearly 7 million customers worldwide. That's a look at your money, your business. Are you there? Back to you.
Goodbye. She's so soothing. She could give you the worst news and you go, oh, thank you.
What a great voice.
Well, both of you could easily do that job.
Oh,
You've got the golden tone.
You pushed the wrong button. Try again.
And wouldn't you recognize that voice if you did hear it? All right, let's just get to the heart of the matter right now. That would be the big Memorial Day weekend forecast, and here it is. Now, it's not looking all that great on Saturday. And Sundays, you know, it's nothing to write home about either, but it's a little bit better. But by Monday, there you go, 68 degrees. So that's the way it looks, folks. We're going to get a little bit of rain coming in on Saturday. Wouldn't it be nice if the whole weekend was like this? This is a live shot from our Timberline Skycam. And look at that. It's just crystal clear. It's beautiful. That, of course, is Mount Jefferson. And down here, what, about 100 miles away by air at least, you can see the Three Sisters clear as a bell. Beautiful, beautiful sight. Meanwhile, to the north of Portland, just finished recording this sky show, Mount St. Helens. And you can see a little steam plume coming out of the active volcano, so we'll keep our eyes on that. With the clear weather, as you will be able to do over the next couple of days. This is live. Again, this is from our Wells Fargo camera. It's shaking around because we have very strong winds. At the surface, the winds are at about 15, 20 miles an hour. But up here on top of the Wells Fargo building, it's quite a bit stronger. So that's why the camera's shaking a bit. You can see just a little bit of a steam plume coming out. No big eruptions expected that we know of, but of course we'll keep our cameras tuned on that as well. 70 in Pendleton today. We were 72 in Portland, as was Salem. The coast is really going to heat up. This is the satellite imagery. Little white dots, that's snow-capped volcanoes. High pressure building into our north. The flow around that is going to allow this, which is the heat low, which is down on the southern Oregon coast. That's what that is. Now, as we go through the next couple of days, this is going to begin to migrate northward, and when that happens, that really lets that east wind kick in. So we're looking at some very warm days this week, beginning tomorrow and peaking on Thursday. Meanwhile, back out over the Pacific, there's an area of low pressure out here, and that is going to be our weekend rainmaker. So look for some Saturday day or night showers. It's 70 degrees right now. There's that northwest wind at 17, and the freezing level is rising, as are the temperatures across the southern part of the country. Look at Phoenix at 102, and that's one of the cooler days they've had. All right, here's Futurecast. You can see the east wind setting in tomorrow, continuing on Thursday when that'll be our warmest day. 49 in the morning tomorrow, 84 in the afternoon, and look at our 7-day forecast, 89 on Thursday. And Friday's not bad either, and then it gets a little cool and wet just in time for the big holiday weekend. And now, back to you.
Yeah,
that's right. We didn't like
Ron,
that one.
Ron is here now. The Blazers find out where they pick in the draft.
And it's a little bit better than a lot of people anticipated. Unfortunately for Blazer fans, the NBA Draft Lottery is turning into must-see TV. For the second straight year, all eyes were on those big envelopes and what was inside. Here's how it went.
The third pick goes to the Portland Trail Blazers.
The Blazers actually moved up 2 spots from where they finished overall this season. This will be their highest pick since 1984 when they took Sam Bowie. The Bucks ended up with the top pick. This was the reaction at McTarnahan's Tap Room where the Blazers were hosting a party. Obviously, the fans happy that the Blazers jumped up to number 3.
Looking over what they've done for us in the past, as far as number 3 picks overall, I think we can get a really good player.
We need a lot of work, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunities out there. I think they'll do good this year.
He may be the most popular athlete in Philadelphia sports history, and now Maurice Cheeks is coming back as head coach of the 76ers. Even in Portland, Cheeks wasn't bashful in saying that the coaching job, the Sixers, was his dream one. He didn't know when it would happen, but he knew that someday he'd be the main man in Philly. Cheeks played 11 seasons there, led the Sixers to their only NBA title. Now he's back and will try to do the same, this time from the sideline.
You know, I don't want to just come back to Philadelphia and just be Maurice Cheeks, the guy who played here before. I want to come back and I want to make a major contribution to this team and help us win basketball games.
Everything Billy's done and bringing in Mo, I mean, I think that was just the icing on the cake for me. You know, I didn't want to do it with all the cameras. I want to take him in the back, kiss him in his mouth for it.
Didn't Mo say he was watching The Young and Restless? When
Yeah, what's going on with these guys? Showing us the other side.
That's why he's so well-liked, I think.
Thanks, Ron. Proof that nothing is impossible.
This Houston woman gives birth to not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 babies. Typically, that would be a feat in itself, but there's much more to this story. Stay tuned.
This News Channel 8 segment is sponsored by Hometown Buffet. All the classics you love, plus lots of new flavors.
A typical barbecue restaurant.
Can I get fries instead of baked beans?
My guess would be no, Billy.
But at Hometown Buffet, you can substitute all you want. Come in for barbecue nights, Thursdays and Saturdays. Endless St. Louis pork ribs, barbecue beef brisket, barbecue chicken, and more. All for under $10, kids even less. And kids leave happy. Hometown Buffet. And join us for breakfast every Saturday and Sunday.
This is the new 99.5 The Wolf.
It's great country for the great Northwest.
99.5 The Wolf. Mike and Amy in the morning are great.
It's not that old, boring country. It's Wolf country.
Kenny Chesney.
Gretchen Wilson.
Toby Keith.
This is the sound of the Wolf.
With the first pick in this year's draft, Dallas selects Cordell Russell, wide receiver, Nebraska.
Life comes at you fast. Nobody helps you get ready like Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
Another day, another Dollar Tree, where anyone, anywhere, even Jane, can find some great summer stuff for just $1. You guys like pool parties?
Oh, we love pool parties.
Oh, let's dive in.
From the beach to the pool to the backyard barbecue, everything you need for summer is just $1 at Dollar Tree. Believe it.
Wow, from plain James to total beach babes. And it was all just $1. That's why they call it Dollar Tree.
Right now, colorful flip-flops and bucket hats are just $1 each at Dollar Tree. Believe it.
The limited edition 2005 Dodge Ram Daytona. It's got a Hemi V8 engine, like the 69 Daytona. A real hood scoop, like the 69. And the legendary rear spoiler, just like the 69 Daytona. Shh, it doesn't know it's a truck. The Dodge Ram Daytona. Grab life by the horns at your local Dodge dealer.
I love country music and I love the Wolf.
Great country for the great Northwest.
I'm a redneck woman.
I listen in my car, I listen in my truck.
I listen all the time.
99.5 The Wolf.
Listen to the new 99.5 The Wolf.
A Houston woman has given birth to quadruplets, which isn't all that unusual in this day and age until you find out that they're identical and their parents, Shelley and Eric Breedlove, brought them into this world the old-fashioned way with no fertility drugs or in vitro fertilization.
It just seems so overwhelming, but I guess we won't really know until we've had them for a few weeks, you know, and see how they really are.
For now, it's difficult telling these cuties apart. Daphne, Chloe, Bonnie, and Adele. Homemade ankle bracelets will help them identify them for the time being. The Breedloves will be busy. They also have a 15-month-old son at home. We'll be right back.
This News Channel 8 segment is sponsored by the new Chevrolets and American Revolution.
There are 2 sedans with best-in-class highway fuel economy for gas-powered vehicles. And they're both from Chevy. Chevy Malibu and Chevy Impala. Plus, Chevy has 8 car models that can get 30 or more highway miles per gallon. That's more than Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, and Honda. Malibu and Impala. An American Revolution. See your participating Northwest Chevy dealer today.
RV buyers, there's only one place you'll find 2.99% financing, huge discounts, and this kind of selection. That's La Mesa RV Center. With 12 dealerships in 6 states, you can shop with confidence knowing that you're buying from one of the world's largest motorhome dealers. We'll be there for you from Washington to California, Utah to Florida. So stop by La Mesa RV Center today, where it's all about creating a lifestyle of family, fun, and memories. See us now at Portland Meadows Racetrack. La Mesa RV. Experience life.
That smells clean.
That's the power of pine sol, baby.
Hi.
Hey.
All right, people, we all know what day it is. It's Tuesday. Our chance to do some good out there with our 2x Tuesday pizza deal. Our chance to rescue people from the average, from the mundane, and let's show them what a free pizza can do. Let me get a hoo-ha 2x Tuesday.
Domino's.
Hoo-ha. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
It's 2x Tuesday at Domino's. Buy any large pizza at regular menu price and get a second pizza of equal or lesser value free. Get the door. It's Domino's 2x Tuesday.
This is James Moore, a real Quest customer. With Quest Wireless, Moore gets great coverage and saves more. He can get free calls between his wireless and home phones, a single voice mailbox for all his messages, and he never misses a call because calls to his home can automatically forward to his wireless. If Moore can save more,
you can too.
Visit a Quest store, order online, or call today to get Quest Wireless. That's our spirit of service in action.
Where the news comes first. Northwest News Channel 8. This is breaking news.
An update now on our breaking news, a small plane crash in Hillsborough. Bruce Sussman is live in Sky. Bruce.
Yeah, Tracy, we have just learned that 4 people were on board this twin-engine plane. Fire officials are unable to confirm the fate of the pilot or the 3 passengers, but we do know that this plane is in a lot of pieces, as you can see. It was registered to a Hillsborough person, and this is a field just northwest of the Hillsborough Airport. We've got crews in the air and on the ground. We'll have the latest tonight at 10 and 11. Back to you.
Thank you, Bruce, and thank you for joining us.
We will see you tonight at 10 and 11.
Thanks, Value Village. It's perfect.
Save 50% on all used items this Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th at Value Village.
Kick off your Memorial Day right with the new Chrysler vehicle during the Chrysler Memorial Day sales event. Like the Chrysler 300, 2005 Motor Trend Car of the Year, Town and Country with the revolutionary Stow and Go, the versatile PT Cruiser, and the safety utility vehicle Chrysler Pacifica. Right now, qualified lessees can lease a Town and Country with Stow and Go for just $289 a month. Hurry in today for great deals on the Chrysler lineup during the Chrysler Memorial Day sales event. Offers end May 31st.
It's so nice of you to help me research my part.
My pleasure.
What is it again you do for Albertsons?
I'm a produce professional.
A produce pro. A pro.
I travel around to farms and fields to find the freshest produce. Only crops that at the peak of the season will be sweet and juicy enough for our stores.
Now, what are these orange thingies?
Oranges? What kind of part are you going to play again?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Experience the pick of the pros, only at Albertsons.
Trinity Carpet and Flooring has fresh ideas about tile flooring. That's why we feature Emser Tile.
Trinity has the best prices and selection on Emser Tile. The latest styles, the best colors and textures. Come to Trinity Carpet and Flooring and discover the beauty of Emser Tile, starting at 79 cents. Make your home more beautiful for less. Do it yourself or work with our uniformed installers. Trinity Carpet and Flooring beats the big box stores every time.
Trinity Carpet and Flooring, simply better.
We're making better choices every day to keep our cholesterol and blood pressure healthy.
Like choosing to eat more fish and less red meat.
And now we're choosing a new multivitamin, One-A-Day Cholesterol Plus.
Introducing new One-A-Day Cholesterol Plus, the only complete multivitamin with polycosanol and heart-supporting nutrients to help maintain healthy cholesterol and blood pressure.
For us, there's no better choice.
New One-A-Day Cholesterol Plus.
Hey, what kind of burrito are you?
Spinach, tortilla, chicken.
I like...
Mondo beef.
Super pork.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Beef. Baja Go. Get your Mondo made-to-order burrito at Taco Del Mar today.
My burrito, my way, at Taco Del Mar.
Portland's only 30-minute news at 10. Your complete weather and late-breaking news. Northwest News, Channel 8 at 10 on PAX. Channel 54, Cable Channel 5.